Hi everybody, welcome back to Critical Mass. It's Star Wars time again. Mandalorian episode 12, I believe. We're up to now.
Well, season 2, episode 4.
Episode 4. Yeah, they were 8 in the first one, so we're at up to episode 12 since they continue the story plot. And this one was called The Siege. And we're going to let you know our likes, our dislikes, and what we think about the story, the plot, and how Mando is heading in season 2. Alright, basic plot.
So we come off of episode 3, which was the Heiress.
Yeah.
And his ship is totally wrecked. But
He had it repaired, but they repaired it with string and ropes.
yeah, totally wrecked, but he has to somehow go and see this Jedi, a person he wants to meet. And he's not going to make it, so he has to land on Navarro.
Yeah. Which we've been to before.
Yeah, this is the place where the whole series started off.
Yeah.
And he lands to get his ship repaired, and he meets up with his old buddy, the one who gave him the missions. I didn't even...
That you
Gina Carrero's character and
Carl Weathers'
Carl Weathers' character. Okay.
And they're his buddies. They say, okay, we'll repair your ship, but you got to help us take out this Imperial base that's over there.
Yeah. Another here's this week's mission
Yeah.
episode.
So I don't know why it's called The Siege. It doesn't really make sense as a title, but they have to go take out the Imperial base. And when they get there, a couple of interesting things happen, discoveries, and
there's a big escape scene at the end involving a lot of. Right away I said there's fan, getting into the fans right there. We saw the speeder bikes chase scene, and then TIE fighters. But okay, likes about this episode. What would you say that you liked about this episode?
well, honestly,
Uh-oh.
it's slim pickings. Slim pickings. Like, I really want to like The Mandalorian. I really liked season 1.
Yeah.
I was really happy after the disaster of the sequels to get this high quality TV show that was just intriguing and I want to see where it goes. And to find those bright spots in this episode specifically, really hard to do. But the discoveries that they make inside this Imperial base, some of them could lead to interesting plot lines, I guess. Other than that, I have a lot of negatives.
All right. Well, I like seeing Gina Carruthers back. Carrero means right.
Carano?
you do
MMA fighter Gina. She's been in the news a lot lately for other reasons other than the show, and I just want to watch her act. I don't care about the other stuff. So
If you haven't figured it out, we're not hardcore Star Wars fans. No. We don't follow everything we're just average Joes watching Star Wars.
I see the series and I see the movies and I buy some items, but I don't read the books. I don't know the fan lore. I don't go that deep.
We're just average Joes talking to who we think are average Joes interested in watching Star Wars.
Even if that. And it's... I guess, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this episode that I was going... We were predicting this happens before it happened, and that's not a good sign.
So what, are we doing the negatives, or you have some positives?
Well, I was trying to be positive, and there's not... Okay, the speeder bike scene was kind of neat. The special effects are still good.
So the speeder bike scene is the actual stormtrooper-style outfit guys in Return of the Jedis who were on the speeder bikes. They get back on their speeder bikes.
Yeah. But they came off a mountain, and they came down on a mountain, and it just wasn't them being cool coming down. They actually immediately run into boulders like you would think would really happen in real life. I liked that part of it. The rest was kind of really predictable. But again, special effect-wise, top-notch that way.
In certain scenes.
In the action scenes that they're filming.
Okay.
I think their action scenes are movie-quality action scenes. Okay? Negatives. I'll let you go first.
Okay, negatives right off the bat. They got to do something with their puppetry. Like, I swear in the original trilogy, the puppetry was better than what we're seeing on the screen right now. They have this little, a meerkat little pet thing that she picks up at the beginning. come on. It was just, it doesn't look good.
Not that it was a big point.
No,
It's not a major point of the thing.
but you're saying this is Star Wars. Come on, I see all these spaceships flying around and having space battles, and you can't get a puppet to look good?
Was it a puppet?
Yes, it was a puppet.
All right. Besides that,
Okay, the dialogue in this episode completely horrifically bland. There is nothing good about the dialogue in The Mandalorian this season, the entire season. But this episode, the worst of all 4 episodes.
it was very, very
Carl Weathers,
written. Like it's like you're reading the lines instead of acting the lines
yeah,
in this episode.
Carl Weathers, his direction in this episode was to be short-tempered with the green guy.
Yeah, the
fish guy.
blue guy.
and so basically it's hurry up, get over here, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up,
You do this or else. You do this or else.
and keeps on bribing him with getting 30 years or 40 years off of his indentured servitude, and he says it angrily. Okay, well, you guys gotta do something to make this episode interesting. It can't be lines that you just throw together.
And like everything was so predictable.
So just so you know what he's talking about, they get into this base and they said, oh, there's this special vehicle. They say, oh, we're going to leave it behind. And the guy says, oh, what a shame. Don immediately says, well, no, they're going to use that to escape. And they did.
Guess what? They used it to escape. There's a surprise. And then they're being chased by TIE fighters, and I go, well, I guess Mando will show up in a ship. 20 seconds later, Mando shows up in his ship. You have to have more of a surprise than that. You know what? Have the X-Wing TIE fighter show up, and that would have changed our mind. We wouldn't have known that happened.
The X-Wing TIE fighters?
Not the X-Wings. Have the X-Wings show up to fight the TIE fighters instead of Mando's ship.
Well,
Because this is supposedly this little transport, like, carrier smuggling ship, and it took on 3 TIE fighters like this.
yeah.
A little too easily.
And to be honest, his ship was like a complete ball of garbage when it landed.
Yeah.
And they were on this mission for about 2 hours. And in that 2 hours, they fixed the ship to perfection.
To perfection. No more strings hanging from the side. The engines are all working perfectly and everything. It couldn't even lower its hatch in the back for him to get off. He had to jump down from it. That's how badly damaged this thing was. Not only that, there's a little scene in there with Baby Yoda that everyone's going to go, oh, look, Baby Yoda, where he's brought into a school, he sat down and he's looking at this kid eating cookies beside him. And the kid doesn't want to give him cookies. And he uses the Force to bring over the cookies. So he has a cookie in his mouth. When we see Baby Yoda back on the ship with him fighting the TIE fighters, he still has 2 of those 3 cookies left that he's been eating all this time.
I don't mind that so much.
But I mean, keep your timeline somewhat.
What I do mind is that in every episode, they tried to have a cute, funny thing. Something that you go, ah, ha, ha,
Yeah.
ha. And in this episode, they tried it twice. They tried it at the beginning with Cables and Baby Yoda, and they tried it in the school with the Force and the cookies. And neither one was funny.
No.
It's kind of like, hey, you're supposed to know this is funny. It's not going to make you laugh, but this is our attempt.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately for me, this was the worst episode so far.
Do we talk about?
The ending, go ahead. There are some Easter eggs of what's going on, hinting at anyway.
Okay, so like if you really don't want to know what we think is going to happen in the next few episodes, this is where you end it. Otherwise, spoiler. Okay. When they're in the compound, the Imperial compound, they see these vats of people being incubated, and it looks like they're being cloned. And inside, you can surmise that this is the Emperor or perhaps
Snoke.
Okay, somebody of importance. And they say something about M count. So they're double downing on midichlorians being the origin of the Force. So they want to transfuse midichlorian blood into hosts, obviously the guys in the cloning vats, to replicate Force-sensitive beings.
Yeah. And that's why they're after Baby Yoda.
Yeah, so they have to go get Baby Yoda, make sure he's safe, because Moff Gideon wants to get Baby Yoda for his very high M count blood. And they pan out at one point, and you see like a bunch of different uniforms along the sides of the walls there, and they're black. And at first we said, okay, well, are they trying to clone Luke's or Darth Vader? Yeah, because they looked like a bunch of Darth Vader outfits. But it was kind of like indistinct, so they may have just been like dark stormtroopers,
yeah,
outfits.
from the lore that we don't really know about. But.
Yeah, so, but when I thought they were Darth Vader outfits, I kind of rolled my eyes.
Yeah. Well, I still roll my eyes at midichlorian count.
Yes, that's better.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But they didn't say midichlorian, they said M count. They're trying to avoid the word at all costs. Because all we need is Jar Jar Binks to walk in and go, that means a midichlorian, like this, because that's something they don't need to reference anymore.
So if you don't understand our loathing for this word, it's because we think the Force should be like a mystical religion type-y thing rather than a biology thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you can always make something to make someone more stronger if it's biology, as opposed to a mystic feeling. But anyway, I did not like this episode.
I did not like this episode either.
At all. And in fact, yeah.
I thought the acting was subpar. I thought the dialogue was subpar.
Very stale. And
I didn't think anything in the episode was exciting.
No. No, at no point did I say, oh, well, they're going to die, or that's going to happen. It's just, nope.
Felt like a high school stage play, honestly, to me.
Yeah. Acting-wise, anyway. That's not saying much, especially with actors of this quality. So.
And believe me, I want to love this.
Yes.
I don't want to trash it, but
we're trashing it. This episode, anyway.
If we're going to review it, that's our review.
Yeah. Worst episode of the 4 so far this year. Still going to watch it. See what happens next time, and what mission he goes on next time when he's handed out his mission of the day. Well, there you go. That's the Mandalorian season 4, the Siege. Season 3. No, season 2, episode 4, The Siege. We're not very big fans of it this time. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments below, and until next time, we'll see you on the channel.